I am Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. So it is December 5th. It's a cold, frosty morning, probably in the high 20s right now. And I'm finally getting around to wrapping this yard up, having got my oxalic acid treatment in a few weeks ago, and got round almost all my yards now to finish off oxalic acid treatments. And now I'm finally getting to wrap them up. I'll manage to wrap a few yards before we have our first snowfall of any significance due later this week, which is going to make getting to the other yards a real pain in the neck. As I've said in previous videos, I know I am going to be paying a price for having tried to do too many things this fall, and I'm going to have I'm late getting my last mite treatments in. I was late feeding. I was late, therefore, getting my last mite treatments in, and now I'm late wrapping up my hives. And I know that I won't have managed to look after my nukes, the overwintering nukes that I was just going to do this fall. I'm not going to have got them as well looked after as I could have done. And so I know that in the spring I will be paying a price for that in terms of a lower percentage of bees that I normally get. Last 3 years I've had 90% survivorship overall. This year, because I took on a few too many things, probably doing the extra videos and that sort of thing for my Beekeeping 24/7 channel, getting the craft fairs at exactly the same time, making product, taking on a big customer for honey. All of these things have combined at the same time to set me behind. So it's got me reevaluating what I will do next year with my time, and particularly how many hives I intend to try to manage and how I'm going to manage them. So the time management involved to do these extra projects plus looking after the bees is a big thing. And my priority should be, and usually is, to get the bees healthy and through the winter. And I think I allowed honey production and then other things to overtake that a bit this fall, and I will pay a price for that. But that's the way it goes. You learn every single year. You learn what you can do and what things maybe you shouldn't have tried to do. Anyway, we're going to get out here. This yard is all singles. Should be relatively straightforward, relatively easy for this one-man band to get these all wrapped up. I should have had the camera with me yesterday because I had Anne helping me in the Hamden yard getting those colonies all wrapped up. We got a load of them wrapped up yesterday, and so that was a real treat for me to have her help me out back there. I'm hoping if the weather's good tomorrow, I'll have a new recruit from Hamden Academy Beekeeping Club to give me a hand at some of my other yards as well, as long as it's not pouring with rain. So right now what we're going to do is get these hives have all been fed. They still have feeders on to take off. They have their mouse guards on. And so what I'll need to do is put a screw in the bottom, take off the feeder, put the rim on, put a little bit of supplemental feed on them. Because they're all singles, I like to give them a little bit of extra supplemental feed prior to going into the winter. Unlike every other beekeeper, I like to have I know that feeding the bees a supplemental feed is probably more to satisfy the beekeepers' concern that they're doing enough for their bees than anything else. And so just like everyone else, I like to make sure I put in that little bit extra if I can do. So all of these hives were in excellent shape when I looked at them a few weeks ago when I was treating them with oxalic acid. There were certainly good clusters of bees in here. So hopefully that's still the case. Might even get a see some of them at the tops of the clusters here. But I'll have to be quick. I'm not going to be doing much videoing of open hives because, as I say, it's only in the 20s, so it's pretty darn cold. But certainly time to wrap those hives. So I will stop for now, get ready, and then show you a bit of what I'm doing. Okay, about 15-20 minutes later, I've laid out all the stuff to do these 19 hives. So I'll have a look. Every hive is going to get some winter patties. That's more, probably says more about my paranoia for underfeeding than anything else. Generally speaking, if you fed your hives well with liquid feed in the fall, you usually do not need to feed supplemental feeds like this, but I'm still going to do it anyhow, especially on my singles. Then I will put on my feeding rims to put that space in there. Homer soap board to wick away moisture, insulation to keep them warm, and a cozy to slip over the whole hive. Okay, so all of the apparatus is laid out now, so I'll get on with it. I've got to go round first and put all the screws for the bottom of my bee cozies on. Put 4-inch screws at the bottom of the hive so the bee cozy doesn't slide down over the entrance. Airport never sleeps. Some of the bees that I've disturbed, the clusters a bit over on the left hand side here. They're making their way back into the hive now. Here's their upper entrance, getting to know their upper entrance. All wrapped up, cozy for the winter. I just need to put a heavy weight on each hive. I've brought a stack of rocks to put on the hives, because now that we've broken the seal off the top of those hives, there's nothing gluing the tops down. So it's important to make sure you have a heavy weight or a strap to hold those hives closed for the winter time. So I'll get on with it now and come back and film the completed job. Okay, well, job done. All the feeders are in the truck, and the hives are ready for winter now. So, all wrapped up, snug as bugs and rugs, and hopefully next time I have a look, it'll be spring. So they're all good weight for singles. They've all had an extra couple of pounds of patties put on, and they should be in good shape for the winter time now. Nice shelter from the north and west, sun exposure, well wrapped on the sides and on the bottom and on the tops. So that's it for today. Time to get on with the other bee yard. If you haven't got your hives wrapped up now, it's okay, but I'd get them on before it's hard to get at them with the snow, or particularly before we have those days where it goes from 40 in the daytime to 0, -10 at night. Those are the real problems. So that's me having wrapped one more yard. Better go on with the next. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time.